That's the view you're more used to. Let me go ahead and just, holy windows. Let me, Patrick would be worried if he saw how many windows. You might be worried if you saw how many windows I had open right now. Yeesh, Nikes. Let me close some of these really quickly. Live, that's what I want. Good morning. I wonder how many of you are going to be stitching with me today. Give me a little shout out if you plan on stitching, because I'd like to know. And who's stitching? Watching from work. And just plug in really quickly. Stitching with you. Yay. Faye, have you ever done the auto split quilt sashing, or is this going to be your first time? Yeah, I just for some reason was thinking Luminaire's biggest hoop was 9.5 by 14. Do you have a 10.5 by 16-inch snap hoop? Just watching for now. Oh, I hope he's going to be better soon, Miss Joanne. Because I'd like to do, I wanted to do, okay, let's talk about snap hoops. We're just going to talk a little bit. You do, okay? So that's what I would prefer to use. So I'm going to talk to you while we wait for people to, oh, it's time. I go until it's 10:30. This is the 10.5 by 16. I know I don't have it layered right. Where's my, here is the 9.5. I don't store these with the corrugated in between. So this kind of gives you an idea of like the sizes. And well, Donna, hopefully you'll go ahead and try this technique after the video. Maybe just take it at your own pace. If you feel like you're gonna get overwhelmed, just watch, and then you can just use this as your instructional video. But if you want to just go for it, I mean, the first time I learned how to do this was at a brother event. It was the kickoff event. And then we did it again. We used to be baby lock dealers, so we did it at the baby lock event. And I got to tell you, if I had just done it on my own, I think I would have been really intimidated. So it was nice having instructors walk us through it. I don't know if there's a lot of content out there, if people have a lot of videos showing you how to do this, but it is one of my favorite features on the machine. It's a feature on the Luminarie, Aveneer, the Solaris, and the Radiance. It's not on any other machines. It is worth upgrading to one of these machines so that you can do quilt embroidery. And if you're interested, let us know. If you're interested in an Aveneer, let us know. We do something for our out-of-towners called concierge service, where we would bring you in. And if you're local, of course, you can just walk right in the door and we can give you pricing. So this is one of the projects that I did. This is the, let me see if I can show it to you a little bit bigger. This is called, I think it's called the tallest, shortest tree or something like that. Unfortunately, the company that did this design, they ended up shutting during the pandemic. But I paper pieced this, and then I did all the quilting myself. I did this one on the Luminaire. This was before the Aveneer. But being able to do the borders was so exciting. And I did the auto split quilt sashing on, I did it on the Luminaire, what you do is, and we're going to do that with this project here, we're going to start off by doing some measurements, is you measure the distance across, your width, and then you will measure your length, and then you measure the size of the border or the sashing, whatever you want to call it. And then you just put those into the machine. The machine does all the calculations for you. You just stitch and follow the directions that are going to be on the screen. So, and this one, I got to tell you, this is my favorite of the patterns. There's a lot of different patterns. We'll look at those today. So what we're going to start by doing is we are going to start by measuring. So let me grab my tape measure. Where did I had it out. This is where I lose everything instantly. Luckily, I have like 80 tape measures. Yours might be a little bit, depending on how you pieced it, yours might be a little bigger. It might be a little smaller than mine. You're not going to put in my measurements. You're going to put in your measurements for your project. If you piece something, Graydon's going to add the supply list to our website. So if you go on to a1backandsew.net and you type in Aura. Is this did I figure this out? No, this was for my Enchanted. If you go in there and go to sew alongs and classes, there'll be something for Spring is in the Air, and there'll be a supply list for today's class. And there's not a lot on there. You don't need a ton of supplies, but you do need a tape measure, which I already dropped mine on the ground. And we are going to measure first. So let's go ahead. You want to measure, and you have to know what you're going to call your top and your bottom. So I am going to start, when I start stitching, I'm going to start stitching in this upper right-hand corner. I'm going to call this right here my top. And that's really important how you put your numbers in. So my first hooping is going to be like this, okay? I'm going to call this my top right here. This is going to be my sides all the way down, and then my bottom. So they want you to put in, we're going to be putting in those measurements. So, for instance, the measurements that they're going to want will be from here to here. So we're going to measure that right now. If you do this as your first measurement, as your top, then you have to hoop that way. So I'm telling you right now, I'm going to hoop like this. This is going to be my first hooping right here in the upper right-hand corner. It makes a difference for when you do your numbers and the instructions. So I'm going to measure this right now. Let's do that. And like I said, you're going to go according to your measurements, not my measurements. Yours may be different than mine. And I have 15.25. 15, and I want you to go to the, and you could be even more precise than that. I'm also going to measure this side too and just see what I have over here. 15.25. Mine got a little shredded, so yeah, I'm going to do 15.25. Actually, 15, what is 15? And I'm more like, I want to see here. 15 and an eighth is really where I'm at. Yeah, 15 and an eighth. So what is, let me do, you have to put it, they don't take fractions. So 1 divided by 8, 1 divided by 8 is 0.125. So when I put my measurements in, I'm going to put 15.125. Okay. That's what I'm putting in. Let's measure the length. That's going to be the second measurement I put in. Okay. My room's really messy, so forgive me. So I have 43 1/8 here. I'm going to measure it in like a couple different spots. Ugh, the smell of Sharpie. That is actually 43 1/4. Let me go all the way to the very top. Oh, 43 1/4. Maybe now that I spread it out, it'll be 43 1/4. 43. Yeah, I'm going to go 43 1/4. 43 1/4. 43 1/4. So from here to here, 43.25. All right. Okay, those are my two measurements so far. Now what we're going to do is we're going to, oh, guess what? I totally forgot all about this. So this is, if you look at this, this is wider. This is wider than this. I totally forgot all about that. So it's really for us to do this, we're not going to be able to give it a second measurement. I'm going to leave it and I'm going to let it go in the middle of this. Shoot. I forgot all about that. I might have to cut it down for this to work. I'm going to cut it down. I'm really, 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 really sorry about that. I forgot all about that. That this is, do you see how this one is wider here and skinnier here? And for auto split quilt sashing, it doesn't take that into account. If we do it, what it's going to do is it's going to want to go here and then it's going to go right over here. And you're going to have a little bit of a dead spot right here. So we could do that. So I got a couple different options for you. Or we could cut it down so that it is the same width all the way around. What do you think? I got a noodle on that for 1 second. I forgot all about that. I'm going to cut mine down. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to cut it down. Our width is, this is what? 3.5. Ooh, I am 3 1/4. 3, oh yeah, 3 1/4, 3 1/4, 3 1/4. Okay, so I got to cut that down to 3 1/4. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to, but placement's going to be a little bit harder because it's going to want to come off of this corner, and you're going to have to eyeball your corner over here. And then your design, of course, it's not going to go right to this edge. It's going to come out here. So it makes me sad because I have a little butterfly over here and I don't want to lose him. But that's going to be the easiest way for us to do it, for your border to be equidistant all the way around. For it to be the same all the way around. So guess what? I'm going to trim it really fast. You guys, if you're going to do this with me, I would recommend, oh, I have another butterfly. Making me sad. But that's going to be the easiest thing for us to do with this, is for me to go 3 1/4 from the outside of the border. I'm going to just measure that. 3.5, 3 1/4. I'm sad. I'm going to lose part of my butterfly, but I think somebody actually mentioned that before, and I looked at it last night and I completely forgot all about it, that was going to be a possible issue for us. So I'm going to trim it down. Just do it. It's okay. You're still going to have so much beauty with this project. And I'm going from my seam line from the top to the bottom, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut this off. Here we go. Let me look at it one more time. Let me measure one more time. You can't, there's no take backsies. 3 1/4. 3 1/4. We're going to do it. 3 1/4. Here's my 1, 2, 3 1/4. I'm going according to the seam here and the seam here. Here we go. Ready? Don't cut the back. I just cut the top. Okay, even. All the way around now. Don't cut this stuff off here. You need that. Yeah, I did leave my blade just up like that. Is it giving you anxiety? Okay, I'm going to do this side too. 3 1/4. I got to stand over here to do this. 3 1/4. 3 1/4. One, two, three. Look at it twice. Cut once. Make sure it looks right. Is that right? So that is 3 1/2, 3 1/4. Can I fit over here? I don't want to separate it from my Bye, butterfly. I mean, that was like one of the things I wanted was that cute butterfly. Oh, well. Okay, 3 1/4 all the way around. I'm going to have to measure again. So I'm just going to do my measurement across, but you need that for this to work. It only works for borders that are going to be the same size all the way around. And it still looks gorgeous. It still looks beautiful. It'll be worth it for the technique. So let's go ahead and I'm going to measure one more time, and we should just be able to take off whatever that was, but here we go. Forgot. I looked at it and I was like, ooh. So I'm at 41 1/8. Let me see what I have up here. 41 1/4. You can just stretch it out another. And do you have to be precise? No, you don't have to be totally precise. So I have 41.25. So I took off an inch off of each side. So here we go. 41.25. All right. Now we're going to measure the width, which we already know because we cut it down just now. So the border itself is 3 1/4, right? So this right here is 3.25. Let me measure it one more time because then I start to question myself. Here we go. All right. 3.25. This better be 3.25. Yes, it is. I don't leave the measurements like this. And that wasn't something they taught me when we went to the training. But for me, I don't want the design to go from edge to edge and all the way from the edge of the top all the way to the edge of the bottom and edge to edge here too. So what I always do when I do my measurements after I do them is I subtract 1/2 inch from every single measurement. And that way you're going to be 1/4 inch away from there, that edge, 1/4 inch away from this edge, 1/4 inch away from here, and 1/4 inch away from here. And your design running down here isn't going to go from edge to edge because what I don't want is I don't want it to pop over here or pop off the fabric. So I always take off 1/2 inch, which will be 1/4 inch from each part. So it's going to run down in the center and not from edge to edge. I would recommend that. You don't have to do that. So now we're going to just take all of these measurements down. And what happened to my handy dandy? So I'm going to go, what do we have here? So this isn't changing at all. 15.125 minus 0.5 is, so this is going to be 14.625. So you're going to minus 0.5, which is going to be your 1/4 inch on either side. Okay. So now for our top, we're going to have 14.625. That's the measurement we're going to put in for this part right here. We're going to enter that first. All right. And then now our 41.25, we're going to subtract 0.5. So we're going to get 40. Minus 0.5, which is going to be 40.75. It's just minusing 50 cents. So you're going to take away a quarter and another quarter, you'll get 40.75. That's what makes sense to my brain. Okay, and then here, instead of having the design run edge to edge, it's going to come in a quarter of an inch on either side. So we're going to minus 0.5, and that's going to give us 2.75. That's our third measurement for the border. All right, that's going to be the actual size of the design that's going to run through this. I'm still mourning the loss of my 1 inch on either side because I do like the look of it being a little bit bigger on either side. But like I said, for this technique, you have to go ahead and have everything be, it's got to be consistent all the way around. All right. Delta, I hope you use this. I hope you guys do this. It's so awesome. I hope you start custom quilting. I don't know if you guys saw the video that we did with Renee Roloff's Junie Niemeyer quilt, but you can do so much with your machine. All right. So those are our measurements. Let's go over to the machine. And since we're standing over here, I'm going to do my first hooping. The other hoopings I'm going to do right on my machine with my snap hoop. If you do not have a snap hoop and you want a snap hoop, we'll do 20% off. So just, you can purchase them online and just say 20% off. I got to check my numbers. We were doing them 20% off let's write it down. I gotta check and just make sure that my costs will be the same. But for the 10.5 by 16 and the 9.5 by, oh, is it 18? Is 16 by 14? I think we usually do them for $229.99. I'm gonna just check that price. I'm checking it, and then we'll do it 20% off. Let me make sure the pricing hasn't gone up on that, okay? So just, if I can do that, I will do that price. But I have to check. I should have checked before I came on. Just watching for now. Just watching for now. That's okay. That's okay. So let's do the first hooping. Whatever hoop size you choose right now is what you're going to use. I love... People go, which one should I get? If I could only get one. If I could only get one, I would get the biggest one. That being said, because as Michelle said she saw something. Did anyone else see something about them having 11.5 by 18 for the Aveneer? Because I went onto the site and I didn't see it, but I think she said she saw it on Facebook. Have you guys seen it too? Because I was like, oh, I'm going to buy them and then we'll do a special. I would get this one first, the 10.5 by 16. That being said, I use my 9.5 by 14 more because it's just the 10.5 by 16 is bigger, more unwieldy, but you get more space. Everything that you can do in this hoop, you can do in this hoop, but you can't do everything in the big hoop and the small hoop. So I would go with the biggest one first, the 10.5 by 16, and then I would add this one. I use these for quilting only. I do not embroider in these. Lots of people love embroidering in their snap hoops. I just like my regular hoops, but I use these for all my quilting because it makes it super easy. So get some snap hoops, and I'm going to show you why. I'll show you when we're at the machine. I know I said in my supply list that I was using the 9.5 by 14. If that's the only one you have, use that one. But I just forgot. I forgot the Luminarie was also 10.5 by 16. So I am going to use the 10.5 by 16. Like I said, if you only have the 9.5 by 14, don't worry. Go ahead and use that one. So I'm going to slide this under. I want you to be mindful of where you're hooping today because, hang on, I got to get this up off of. I'm going to put this on here so you can see it and then we'll talk about it. You know me, I like to explain every little detail. When we put this on with your snap hoops, you have about 1/2 inch of no-sew left and right, here and here, about 1/2 inch. Here you have about, I think it's like 1.5 inches or 2 inches. So you can't hoop like this. If you hoop like this, you're going to be in about 1/2 inch over here. And then on this part, you're going to be able to start your quilting here. That's why you have to have this border. And who cares? We're going to use all that border when we need those 1-inch strips. So don't worry about having that extra. Just when you cut it off, you're just going to put it in your stash. I heard they were coming out with one, but they haven't put them up for sale yet. Well, somebody sees it, send me a note because I'm so busy. I don't have time. I count on you guys to tell me when good stuff is coming out. I'm like, oh, I did not know. So if you wanted to hoop it like this and only have like an inch over here, that's fine too. But I would just go ahead and use this space. And that way, if you're kind of crooked, it's okay. Don't hoop it really close over here. Don't hoop it like this either. Like ideally like in the middle, or like just have some room on your edge and leave yourself a good 2 inches up here on the top part. So with your snap hoops, it has a little lip here for you to pull it off. You want the lip to be on the underside and you want it to be on the right, so you can just grab it and pull it off. So I'm going to put this right here. My flowers are in the way a little bit. Or I'm going to put this one under first. So I'm going to put this under. I'm just going to feel with my fingers. Where is it? And I'm pretty close to the top. If you could have a little over the edge, that would be good too. And like here, I think that's good. I want you to clamshell it. I don't want you to lower it slowly. If you've never used your snap hoops before, people get pinched because, and when I say clamshell, I want you to like put it here where you can kind of hinge it. And then we're just gonna, whoop, I gotta get underneath my computer. We're gonna just drop it down. My flower's in the way. That little guy. Okay, something like that. Kind of straight would be nice because then we won't have to rotate as much. Feel underneath for the other one. You want to feel, and this, you should have the lower part right underneath the upper part. Smooth this down. And I'm going to reach under and kind of pull this taut, pull it outward so it's taut. The rest of the hoopings, we're going to just do it on the machine. Okay? Like that. My design's probably going to have to be tilted a little bit. I'm going to peek underneath here. Just make sure my back looks great. Just lift it up. Take a peek on the underside. Make sure everything is nice and smooth. Mine looks absolutely amazing. Don't worry about this not being hooped in there. It's going to be fine, and we're ready to go. I have my no-sew here, and I have plenty of room here. I'm going to go slide this onto my machine, and we're going to put all the numbers in. Show them. They are out. Oh, they're out and available. I should just watch Gloria. She always knows, huh? Okay. Even still, like part of me goes, do I want to even get that hoop? I think I might like it for edge to edge, but I'm telling you, the 9.5 by 14, and the 10.5 by 16. I mean, even this one gets unwieldy for me, but it is nice to have like the bigger sizes to do your quilting because you can cover so much area. I'm going to go ahead and take this over to the machine. Let's take the camera over there too. Here we go on our journey. And I will show you this on the Luminaire as well. Here we go. Embroidery. Go into embroidery. Put your thread in. Where's mine? Did I lose it? Here it is. Here's my bobbin. I'm using a variegated 2D today, which I love. I didn't see where I could order them yet. I didn't see. Okay, before you put your hoop on, change out your bobbin. I'm using this really pretty variegated thread. And you know what I did is I just took it, I unspooled it and threw it on my project, and it looked beautiful. And I said, okay, I'm going to use that. I'm just always heads down. So I never know what's going on until you guys tell me. All right, I'm going to put this up here. Let's go ahead and before I slide on my hoop, we're going to put in our numbers. Where's my little notepad? And then I'll put the numbers in on the Luminaire too. I didn't see that. Miss Gloria, what did you say about, or was it Delta? Yeah, if you want to get unique furniture, always reach out to us. We get really great deals. And we always appreciate you giving us an opportunity to earn your business. So here we go. You want to go into embroidery. Let me get there. So I'm going to hit my home button. Just go into the embroidery section of your machine. And this is the button that you're going to be hitting. This is your auto split quilt sashing. This is your edge to edge. When you touch this button, you're going to see there's 4 different things here, 4 different things that you can do. Auto split quilt sashing, 1 color. The next one is, oh, sorry. It's focusing on my wrist. This second one is auto split quilt sashing, 2 colors. This third one is hexagonal auto split quilt sashing. And then the fourth one is edge to edge. So that's what's going to be in there. Let's talk about what design to choose. My fabric is pretty busy. If it wasn't busy, then I would go, oh, choose any one of these. But I don't want it to kind of take away from my from the fabric. So I would go with something that's not quite as busy. I don't know. I don't really like the hexagons with it. So I thought this one might be kind of pretty, but it was pretty floral. And I love the flowers. But I am going to go ahead and you can choose whatever you want, but your hoopings might be different from mine. Just keep that in mind. If you want to be following me step by step, then I would use everything that I'm doing, the measurements, the sizes, the hoop, all of that, as long as your measurements match. All of these were kind of busy. I got to tell you, I think I would just do maybe this one, which isn't that busy. But I'm just going to go feathers because feathers are my favorite. So I'm just going to do this one right here. I think it'll go, and I'm using a green, and I think that'll be gorgeous too. So this is the design I'm choosing. It is 013. And again, I'm going to do this on the Luminaire too. I'm going to go ahead and set it. And you have 2 different options here. This one, if you choose this one, you're either going to be 1 hooping, like if you do a placemat, and the placemat fits into your 1 10.5 by 16 or the 11.5 by 18, or it will do quadrants and it will do 4 hoopings. You are limited in the size, so I'm going to go ahead and touch that. You can see right here, it's only going to go up to 21.65 inches across and 35.04 inches down. And that is also hoop dependent too. So if you change your hoop size, what you can put in here might change as well. And you have up to 4 inches. We are not doing this way today because it is too big for this option here. So I'm going to just return out. But if you're doing just a placemat or some small squares, maybe you're doing the auto split quilt sashing on all of your squares and the outside of them, then go into this option if you're doing smaller squares or rectangles. I'm going to go ahead and touch return. So we're going to go down here, return. And I need to choose my design again. Sorry, I'm doing 013. I'm going to go ahead and set. When you are doing larger projects, if you're going to be doing a whole quilt, you're going to choose this option over here. So go ahead and touch this one. And now you're going to see, look at your size. You can do a quilt that's going to be up to 118 inches across and 118 inches down. So now you're talking. It's still the border. You can only go up to 3.94. So about 4 inches, nothing bigger than that. I did something where I was like, oh, it doesn't go all the way. So I kind of just did it down the center of each one of those. So can't remember what it was. We're going to put in the numbers. Remember, I told you the numbers make a difference. So, because they're going to ask you to hoop, and they're going to think if you put your short number here, and then the length of it is long, they're going to expect you to hoop like that too. And what happens is if you hoop it long and short, your numbers aren't going to, they're going to think you have more fabric to continue down. And they're going to think you have more fabric this way. So what your numbers, the way you put them in, make a difference. So for the number across, we did 15.125 minus half an inch. So I'm going to put in 14.625. I can't remember if it lets me put in, if it's going to let me put in, if not, I'm going to put 14.63 and round it up. So right here, it automatically will default there. I'm going to put 14.625. Yeah, it doesn't let me do that, so I'm going to clear that and put 14.3. I'm sorry. 14.63. I'm going to round it up. And now that's the measurement going across from here to here, minus half an inch, quarter inch on each side. Now it wants the measurement going down. So I'm going to go ahead and put in 41.25 minus 0.5, so 40.75. So 40, and we're going to set. Okay? That's the measurement coming down. And now once you put the measurement of the actual design within your border. So 3.25 minus 0.5, so I'm going to put 2.75. 2, and it's already there. It's already defaulting. That's where the blue box is. 2.75. This is important. Right down here, your hoop size, because it's going to build the design based on that hoop size, and it's going to tell you when you need to rehoop and when you're going to have to swing it around to do your corners. So right here, I'm going to use my 10, oh, I don't have to put that in. Sorry, just disregard that. Right here, I'm just going to toggle to it. So I'm going to use my 10 5/8 by 16. I always call it the 10.5 by 16. So if you have all your measurements in and you chose your hoop size, you can just go ahead and touch next. Let me see if I can get this to focus. There we go. So it's going to show you right here your distance across, your length down, how many total pieces. We're going to do 14 total pieces. That doesn't mean we're going to do 14 hoopings, but there's 14 different embroideries that make up this design. The color of the thread doesn't make a difference. You're going to put in whatever thread you want. This makes a difference down here. You can either do a single stitch or you can do a triple stitch. I usually leave it on the single stitch. It defaults to that. When you're done, you're just going to go ahead and put it into memory. Data is being saved. And that's going to be our design right here. And just hang on. I'm going to do this on the Luminaire right now too. So come on over, Luminaire people. Here we go. Luminaire, Luminaire, love you, Luminaire. Patrick's like, when are we selling this? I was like, I can't give it up. I haven't even been using my Luminaire, but I love it so much. I can't give it up. I can't. I told him no, but it's going to be soon, I'm sure. All right, same thing here. You're going to go to the Q, go into your embroidery, go into your Q folder. This is if you have the Solaris. So the Aveneer is like the Radiance, the Luminaire is like the Solaris. And I'm going to go ahead and select 013, same as my other one. Did you have to set after? Oh, don't, Joanne, I'm going to go back over there. So don't worry about it. I did not hit, did I hit set? I think I did, but I'm going to choose the design. I haven't gotten there yet because I didn't touch it. So I'm going to go 013, set. Again, because it's large, I'm going to choose this option right here. And the dimensions across, I'm going to put 14.63, set. And then coming down, because it's longer that way, I'm going to put 40.75, set. And then the width of my actual border design is 2.75, set. Choose your hoop size. I'm going to leave it right here. And then I'm just going to hit next. And this one was the other one 14 pieces too? So it's going to go ahead and give you all the same information. The color, they're a little bit at different spots. And make sure down here that you're setting it to a single stitch instead of a triple. Unless you like that heavier look. I don't like it as much. I've never used the heavier look. I stick here, and you're going to put it into memory. Save it into memory, and there it is. Okay, we're going to start from there. Steps are going to be the same. I'm not going to be at the Luminaire anymore. I'm just going to stay over on the other machine. Let's come back over, because it's going to be, I think it's pretty much the same. I was like, ooh, like, how's this going to mix? And I was like, oh, it's just all the same. Okay. Choose your design. Go ahead and touch it. You're going to see it gives you this with the 14 steps down, or it gives you the individual pieces. This is what we're going to be using where it's going to direct us. This is if you're going to place those pieces yourself by sight, which I don't know. I don't know if I'd recommend it as much as doing it this way. So everyone go ahead and select this, but you could save this in here. These are the pieces that are going to make the border that we're doing right now. Let's go ahead and set that one, and you're going to hit set. And we're ready to go. It's going to give us our first instruction. Begin from the upper right corner. Remember, I'm counting my upper right corner. That's why it's important, because you have to choose the one that you put in the measurements for. I hooped it tall and skinny. If you hoop it short and fat, then you got to put the measurements in the opposite way. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this on. Make sure you have lots of room to the back. Did I put my bobbin in? I did, right? Make sure you have your bobbin in there. When you're sliding this on, support that arm on the left-hand side. I'm going to make sure nothing moved. All right. Can you turn on the laser to see how it looks before? So that is going to automatically come on with your Aveneer. Oh, that is maybe different. So you guys are going to have to ask if you're on the Luminarie, like, does this work there? And so, because I think it's a little bit different. That part is going to be a little bit different. So this is how it wants us to hoop. See how it shows you like some batting and stuff outside of your border. That's what you need to do. And, ooh, see my little flower right here? I don't want him to get snagged. I'm going to put some tape down on him. So make sure he doesn't. And you might have to support your project. Like if it's really big and heavy, put it in your lap. Make sure it's not dragging. And this little guy, I'm going to go ahead and just tape him down so he doesn't get dragged around and hit. I love transport tape. It's the best. Okay, we'll just do that. So we're just going to follow the instructions. Okay. Begin sewing from the upper right corner of the fabric. Attach the embroidery frame in the initial sewing position. Done. We're going to touch OK. The carriage of the unit will move. Keep your hands away. Look behind everything. Make sure you have lots of space. And I'm going to go ahead and say OK. Oh, so it is going to... It's going to project right here. It says use the move pattern keys to adjust the inside quarter of the pattern. Hasn't done it yet. It's just showing you what it's going to do. Go ahead and say okay. And you're going to see it projects. Like this is a little more robust than what you're going to get on the Luminaire, but you should have that little corner. This is going to give me a plus, and it gives me all of these red lines, and it shows my design. I don't think you get all of that on the Luminaire, but what you really need is that little corner. So it wants us to move it. And I'm going to give you a little helpful hint. We're going to move it right now. I'm going to try and put it back like this so you can see. I would just move it general placement with my finger, precision with my arrows. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to drag it into the corner. While I'm doing that, I'm going to be looking over here at my fabric, and I'm going to be looking at my little T, and I want him to be up here beyond that corner. Okay, we're shooting for a 1/4 inch above that corner, because remember, we don't want it to start stitching right on the edge. So let's see, can I get this so you can see it all at once? I'm just going to drag him, but I'm looking here. General placement with your finger. Now I'm going to use the arrows to get it right where I want it to be. And it's really important on the Aveneer. They move the camera. So you got to be even more vigilant with the with the Luminaire. It shoots right from above. What you see is what you get on the Aveneer. It is coming at an angle. You do need to push down your fabric to get it to be really accurate. Okay. So mine is right there. So that looks pretty good. You want it to be, I'm going to point this out. Where's my, let me get a handy dandy little pointeroo. I don't want you to have this right here on the corner, because then we're going to be stitching right next to this edge. I want it to be a 1/4 inch diagonal. That's what I want you to shoot for. A 1/4 inch from here. If I were to draw a diagonal line, It would be a 1/4 inch and push down. And that looks pretty good to me. Do you see that? It's about a 1/4 inch up. Okay. Let's talk about the buttons on your machine. So just now you can use your arrows if you need it up a little bit more. Maybe I need it up. Don't just leave it like that because it looks like I'm right on here on the fold and I'm a little bit up, but when I push it down, that's what I want. When it's flat, that is where I want it. And you can kind of see where the needle is too. Okay. Everyone got that? All right, let's talk about your buttons. Move it with your finger, general placement, use the arrows, and these are just going to move that crosshair around. And then right here, this is going to give you, oh, I forget what this is named, but that's why you have on the Aveneer, you can just hold it over here and it's going to give you a name. That's the project start point. So if you want to check all your points, you can touch them. So let's check the upper rightmost point. I'm going to touch that. And while I touch it, it's going to move to the upper rightmost point. See where we're at right here? Don't trust that though. You want to push your fabric down on the Luminaire too. Push your fabric down. Perfect. He's about a 1/4 inch from my edge. See where the design is? And then I'm going to go to my bottom rightmost point. I'm going to go my leftmost point. Ooh, I'm kind of close. It's going to let me swing it though. So don't worry. We're going to take that design and swing it a little bit. I can go up here and check those points. So that looks good, but we're not done yet, okay? That's why I was just hitting these because it will outline that design for me. All right. I like where I am with the little corner, so I'm just going to go ahead and say okay. Oh, I want him to swing. We didn't swing at all, did we? Let's see. I'm going to go back. You can go back. So if you want to go back, I'm going to go back to the beginning of that. Just hit back to the beginning. Here's, so say okay. Okay, it's going through those steps again. Let me show you that because I want to go through these because I want to see. I'm a little bit close this way. So I wanted to get to this screen. So if you want to get back anywhere, this is how you do it. You're going to go ahead and say okay. And you can go forward and backwards, stitches and steps. So I'm going to touch this, and this is new for you. So this is going to be the getting back to the last step or going forward to a different step. You can always go back if something happens. So we're not going to 14, but I want to go to where they go to the instructions of step number 1. So I'm back there. I'm going to say okay, and it's just going to go through this same step here. We already placed that. Oh, you know what? I have to place them one more time because it doesn't hold it in there. Okay, finger for general placement, and then arrows for because I think I might need to, for this one, I might need to just pull my fabric over the tiniest bit so it's straighter because I was getting that, it was like this. So I'm just kind of tugging on it so it's more in line with this line. Okay, I'm going to push this down. I need to go to the right a little more. I'm going to push down my fabric. Maybe I'll go. I'm using my arrows. I'm going to push down my fabric. That looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to check my points again to make sure everything is in line. I'm going to use this. I know it's right on the edge, but when I put my fabric down, I feel like I should move them over to the right a little bit. I'm just using my right arrow, but check your points. You can use your camera too. I like that. See how it's a little bit away from that edge? I'm going to check the right side too. I could move it over even more. You can see where it's showing you the line right here. Let's check the top left corner. That looks really good too, but push your fabric down. Make sure everything is laying nice and flat. That looks good. I like it. This is on the, you'll get the points on the Luminaire. You're not going to get the whole thing projected like the way it's being projected here on the Aveneer. It is a little bit beefier with the projector and what it's projecting, but that looks good to me. Okay, we're going to stitch. Anyone have any questions I can walk you through right now? You are not going to just start stitching right now. You need to go to stitch number 1, and we're going to bring up our bobbin thread. So I'm going to go ahead and thread my machine up. I'm going to put this in right now. Do not just start stitching. You want to like bring up that bobbin thread so you don't have a big bird's nest. Okay. Corners are important. I thought it had the little shifty do, but it doesn't have on that on the corner. It's just going to have it going straight down. Okay. We're good with all of this. I checked my points down here. I'm going to say okay. And right down here, remember that button's so important where you go forwards and backwards steps. What thread are you using? I am using, for me, it is a 2D variegated, and it's so gorgeous. And I'm not sure what color it is. It is 2D color 28. 2D color 28. Okay. We're going to touch this button right here. You're going to go to stitch number 1. What you don't want to do is you don't want to bring up your bobbin thread here. That's not where it's going to start stitching. I'm going to hit +1, and I'm going to let you see where it's coming up. So if you brought your thread up here, it would just drag it around. So this is where the thread's actually going to come up. I want you to grab your, I have this thing. Oh my God. These are like so awesome. Let's grab 2 things. Number 1, pair of good tweezers in case you have to grab that thread and it's really small and you can't get your fingers on it. I have 2 pairs of the Aveneer precision tip tweezers. I've lost them both. So when I went to go get another pair the other day, I go, I'm grabbing Tulip Pink. They're more expensive. The Aveneer ones are $12. These are 17. But you know what? They make me feel gorgeous. So I was like, I'm just going to grab them. And then I was like, you don't deserve it. You're just going to lose them. But maybe I'll know that they're mine. This is another great thing. This is the Corey hook and snip. If you are a big quilter, this part that extends out is really nice because you can sweep your thread from underneath the foot. I think I have these on like super sale on the store, but these are great. All right. Ready? Grab your upper thread in one hand. Do your needle, hold this taut, go needle down, needle up. You can just sweep underneath, grab both. Oh, look, I didn't grab that one. I didn't get him. I can't even feel him. Did I get him? Okay, hang on, one more time. Down, up. I'm gonna grab it here. You want both of them. Make sure you grab both of those threads, okay? That you have both of them under the foot. The top one should be down under the foot too. You're going to hold it. Go ahead and start. Do a little bit of stitching, and then we're going to snip. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and stop. I'm going to snip. And then stitch away. You might want to have your little spatula to make sure the fabric stays where it is. And we are off to the races. No fingers. Oh my God, it's gorgeous already. Okay, now that we've really started, let's see how long it takes us. There was a little bit of stitch out, a little bit of explaining. This is the beauty of having a bigger hoop. The bigger your hoop is, sometimes it's going to have us rehoop and sometimes it won't. Sometimes you're going to have enough room that it's just going to have you connect the next design. So now we have to see what the machine says. You're just going to follow what the machine says. For me, it says embroidery is finished. Is it okay to connect the next pattern? Absolutely. So our next piece is going to fit in without us rotating. So all it wants us to do is use the rotating keys to adjust the angle of the pattern while keeping an eye on the points around the pattern. If you hooped really low, you might not have enough room for the next piece, but my next piece is little. No rehooping. Do not rehoop unless the machine tells you to. It is going to match our start and our stop. We're just going to focus on that piece and making sure it's straight down in our border. I'm going to say, okay, follow the instructions. That's it. All right. Here's where the other part goes. I want it to go out further. Remember, I'm shooting to have it about 1/4 of an inch outside. So push that fabric down. This is not accurate. Where it is right now is not accurate. Whether you're on the Luminarie or the Aveneer, push the fabric down because that's where the fabric's going to be when the needle starts stitching. I'm right there. I want to be out a little bit further. So you've got your swingers right here. So you can go by, I rarely do the 10 degree. Mostly I find that 1 degree is more like 5 degrees and 0.1 is more like 1. So I'm just going to go ahead and tap these a couple of times to the right, and this lets you pull the design up and down, which most of the time I don't use it until I get to the corner, and then you can check. All right, so I'm going to be using the 0.1 to swing it out. While I'm doing that, I'm going to let you look at the fabric and hold it down. I'm going to do a 1 to get us out there. That 1 looks good. And maybe I'll just go out a couple more. Okay, I'm happy with that. Just a little bit off of the center is what I want. And make sure you push it down because there's a difference from if your fabric is puffed up and then when the needle goes down into it that it starts stitching. That looks good. I'm going to check the right hand side too. So to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and hit this button. And that looks good too, where it goes over to the right hand side. Pleased with that. I'm pleased with this. Maybe there's my design. I'm pushing it down. Maybe I'm going to go back to the left a little bit. Swinging it back to the left a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to go with that. All right, ready? Don't just start stitching once you have it where you want it, and just trust that the start point is going to be right on your end point. All we did was we swung it a little bit. That's all you're doing. Start and end are going to be the same. I'm going to say okay. Don't bring up your bobbin thread because it's going to bring it up right here. We want to bring our bobbin thread up right there. We're going to go to this button where we go forward and backward stitches and go to your first stitch, +1. And we're going to bring up our bobbin thread. I know it looks like it's not going to match. My X is way out here, but when I push my fabric down, just trust that it's going to be right on that other stitch. So I'm going to grab my upper thread. These are the easiest ones to do because the start and stop should be right on the money. You're just going to swing out left and right. Okay, going to hold this. I'm going to go ahead and touch my needle down, my needle up button. It's right there where it should be. And just sweep this underneath. You might need your tweezers because if you use the cut button, this is going to be really tiny. But he's right there. He is right where we stopped. I don't know if you can see that, but we are right on the money, even though this looks like he's maybe 1/8 of an inch to the side. So I'm going to grab these. I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And that's our next piece. That's 2 pieces down, 12 to go. Oh my goodness, isn't this fun? I just love it. You can do all those borders yourself, even if they're small borders. Do them. I'm just going to smooth this out a little bit. Just push your fabric down. Make sure you push it down. Where it's projecting on the top is not going to be accurate because the machine doesn't take into account the loft of the fabric, the batting, any of that. You need to push the fabric down. Imagine that it wants it to be like a flat piece of paper, and you know your fabric isn't. I'm going to go ahead and cut this thread back here. Guess what? 2 out of 12 done. Let's do the next one. I'm going to cut these threads off. You can cut these off because it does a locking stitch in the beginning. Will you have 2D thread on sale? Go ahead, Joanne, and just say 15% off my 2D, please. You guys know I can't resist. Stephanie says, thanks for the hint about pushing. Yes, you gotta push it down. Yeah, your Aveneer is not off. Don't worry about it. Okay. Yours might not say this, depending on how you hooped. If you hooped really low or really high, you might have room for another hooping. But for me, I do not have room for another hooping. So look at the picture. This is how it wants you to hoop. It wants you to have, your design has to come down within the stitch area. If it's too high, you're not going to be able to connect, and kind of run it down the center if you can, okay? But he's going to be up towards the top part. Ready? Here we go. I'm going to back this up so you can see how I rehoop. Faye, is this awesome? It's so awesome. We're going to take off the top. This is the beauty of using a snap hoop. I'm just going to rest it here on the top. I'm going to push this up. I'm going to stand up so I can see. And I just want... I want my start point or my end point for the last one to be somewhere within the stitch area, because you need to be able to match that. And just make sure you have at least an inch over here, but give yourself a little more room if you can. I'm just going to go ahead and, let's see. I'll show you. I'll get the camera and I'll show you what I have over here. Hinge it and drop it. I'm going to pull, okay, let me see if I can get you an aerial view. From the top. I'm going to grab this from the top and the bottom. That's how easy hooping is. Mine's a little bit off because I have those flowers, you know, my dimensional flowers. You want to make sure the top hoop is right on top of the lower hoop. Feel underneath. I'm feeling underneath to make sure it's right there. And I'm going to grab my fabric, pull outward. I'm also going to kind of grab this and gently pull so it's nice and taut. Make it as straight as you can, but remember, this is going to be one that goes straight down, and we're just going to swing it a little bit left and right after we find the joining point. But if you look right here, hang on. I know, I love this feature. I hooped it. I know you might not be able to see, but this is where my last design was. It's right here, because remember, you have about 1.5 inches of no-sew. Don't hoop it so your design ends up here, because that's in your no-sew area. You're not going to be able to match it. So I say I'm probably, let me look. I think I'm probably like 1, 2, maybe 3 inches down. 3 inches down. Okay. Do you guys remember Amy Butler? I miss her so much. I got this from, she did like that trip to, I don't remember where she was. And then she did a trunk show. I just love her. Miss her. Miss you, Amy Butler. All right. So we should be rehooped. You guys rehooped? I'm going to give you a second to rehoop. Okay. Once you're rehooped, I'm going to say, okay. Follow the directions. Use the move pattern keys to align the start point with the end point. That's the first thing it wants you to do. You're going to have to say, okay. When you don't rehoop, it's going to match it for you. When you do rehoop, you've got to match the start point to the end point. There is my little arrow here. I mean, my crosshair. Yours might be a T on the Luminaire. You're going to take that, and with your finger, remember, finger, general placement, arrows, precision. So I'm going to be moving this with my finger, but what I'm doing is I'm looking at that the X, and I want it to get right here where I ended. That's where I want it to be. All right, I'm going to move it with my finger. Okay, I'm close. I'm over to the right too much. Push your fabric down. I need to move it to the left. Now you're going to use the arrows for precision. Go ahead. And I think mine was like maybe 1/8 of an inch. Even when I pushed it down, it was maybe 1/8 of an inch to the left. The other thing we can do, because right now I'm right on the money, like that is right there, hand roll. So I'm going to hand roll. Nope, I'm still off 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to roll it back up. It's not going to let you move it with the needle down. And I'm going to move it over. Might ask you to hit the needle up, needle down button. I'm going to move it to the left a little bit more. Even though I push down, it's off a little bit, but don't worry about that. And I'm going to do one more click. I'm going to hand roll. I want to see that needle go right into my last stitch. I mean, and this is like, how precise do you want it? I'm like super, well, it depends on what we're doing, right? Okay, I'm going to go over one more stitch and I'm going to come down one more stitch. So, and I actually did 2 to the left and 1 down. That's pretty good. I'm like right there. All right, I'm going to give you a minute to do that. While you're doing that, have your tweezers. My thread got really short. And you're going to hold, oh, wait, we're not done yet. We got to look at the instructions. But now we have what they wanted us to do is they wanted us to match the start point to your end point. So go ahead and do that. And my God, so exciting. Now we're going to swing it. Oh, this is the Corey. It's on I think it's on our sale page or clearance page. I feel like if I was a quilter, like quilting all the time, this would be on my top 10, but I don't quilt a lot. But when I do, it's nice to have. So it's the Corey hook and snip. If we sell out of those, I will order more and we'll do whatever deal was on there. I think it's like a super, super deal. All right, ready? Why is that outside of my embroidery field? Because I didn't choose the right size hoop. Let me go back. I was using an 8x12. I'm going to go to 10.5 by 16. Okay, so now you can see I'm well within my embroidery field. I'm going to go ahead and say okay. Now it says use the rotate key. So we're going down. If you are not hooped straight, if your borders are swinging to the left or to the right, now you can just do your match point. Don't worry about if you're not hooped straight. I'm hooped pretty straight. Now you're just going to swing it left or right. So use the rotate keys to adjust. Say okay. Now's your chance to swing it left or right and scrunch it up and down, which we're not going to scrunch yet. We'll do that when we get to the corner. I'm too far to the left, so I'm going to swing it to the right. Use your 1 degrees and your 0.1 degrees. So push your fabric down. See what a difference it makes? It looks like I'm right in the middle of the little accent strip, but when I push down, I'm almost all over. So I'm going to go ahead and swing it. And I might go swing it one more time. Oh, that might be too much. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm doing 0.1s. I'm going to push it down. What I'm finding is right here and where I push it down, it comes out maybe about 1/8. Get to know your camera on your machine, okay? It might, because of the loft of the fabric, it might mean your projector's off the tiniest bit, so get to know it. You can look at your needle too where I am, and that's where it's going to be stitching, so I'm going to move it to the left. Maybe 2 more clicks. Okay, that looks good to me. You see where I'm at? Love it! All right, I like where I'm at. I know my start and stop are in the right spot. I just swung it a little bit, so it should be right in line. I'm going to give you just a minute. Find your little sweet spot. My God, is this so much fun? You got to get an Aveneer. You don't have to get an Aveneer, but... Alrighty. Or have the Luminarie, the Solaris, the Radiance. They're just so great. All right. I swung it. Like I said, these are going to scrunch them up and down. We're going to use that probably when we do our corner at the bottom. And you can check if you want to check these sides, but I'm not going to check. I usually just start, stop, make sure it's not on the edge, and then I say okay. So I'm going to go ahead and say okay. Do not bring up your bobbin thread right now because this is where it's going to bring it up. Center of the design. You're going to go here to where you go forward and backward stitches. Go to stitch number 1. And that should be right where you stopped. I'm going to hold, and if you're off a stitch, it's fine. If you're off a stitch, get better. Be more perfect. No, I'm just kidding with you. Who cares? All right, needle down, needle up. I'm just going to swing him underneath, grab that other thread. There he is. But you want the upper thread too. You want the upper thread down in the foot. Don't have it above because it makes a big old mess. Make sure they're both down under the foot. I'm going to hold them. I'm going to go ahead and stitch. Just hold it to the back. We can snip it later. Manage your fabric too. Like if you feel like, oh, it's not quite where I want it, then you're the boss. Go ahead and just manually pull it over where you want it to be. If you feel like it's getting too close to this edge, pull the edge back a little bit. You're the boss. I know, Cheryl. Do you have if you have like, well, I mean, the whatchamacallit, the Solaris and the Luminaire do this too, and they do such a beautiful job. Did you see? I cannot get rid of my Luminaire. I love it too much. I'm mad that they discontinued those two. I'm mad. Oh my goodness, it's perfect. That's how I like it. I like it a little bit away from this edge. And that's why I always take my measurement down 1/2 inch. Do you still have the fab? Guess what? I do not have this fabric, but I do have, Lori cut a couple more of the jewel tone ones. Yeah, we couldn't get any more of this, but if you want a jewel tone one, I know we have maybe 3 at the store. So if you want to make it, and I think we could maybe make a couple more. We could probably make, I don't know. We'll have to look at the bolt and see what you have. All right, we're ready. Okay, so how many did we do so far? 3? So we have 11 left. But do you see how this could go really fast if you're on a roll? Embroidery is finished. Is it okay to connect? When did I send? Oh my God, Diane. Do I have your name spelled wrong in our system? I have it with I don't have it with the Y. Okay, I'm going to say okay. Rehoop. Okay, we got to rehoop because they're going to be doing long pieces. So let's rehoop. Okay, I'm going to put it up like this so you can see me rehooping. The dream is amazing. We had somebody the other day, we had a trade-in dream, and I haven't been on one of those in so long, and I was like, oh my God, this machine is amazing. So, it is. It's an amazing machine. Okay, we're going to rehoop. Remember, on the very top right here, you want to keep about, I'd say like 2.5 inches. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to do that first because I want, you got to make sure what you just did is in the embroidery field, because I'm going to go 2.5. That should be good. Okay, feel underneath. Don't worry if your hoop's sloppy. Feel underneath. Make sure the top hoop is on top of the bottom hoop. And then grab your fabric, top and bottom, and pull outward so it's nice and taut. I'm going to grab that bottom fabric too. You don't want it to be all bunched up. If you want to check, you can take it off and do each hooping. But I'm just going to trust that I'm hooping it well. Just pull outward both directions. And then check the hoop again. Make sure that top one is on top of the bottom one. All right, and hoop as straight as you can because it makes it easier. Make sure the top is pulled to the back. Oh my God, it's so gorgeous. Love it. Hopefully you got an okay view. Let's look at our instructions. So it just told us to rehoop. Got it. Did it. Okay. Use the move point to align the start point with the end point. Okay. It's going to project and we're going to move it. Oh, this looks like, hang on. My thing is not total. I want it flat. It's kind of where the seam was. All right. There's my little pointy point. I think on the so this is automatic on the Aveneer, just the T. On the Luminaire, I think you're going to have a point or you can have a T, and you can set that in your, you can change that in your settings. Push down on your fabric. I'm going to use my finger on the screen. General placement with your finger. Precision with your arrows. So here, move. So my end point was right here. I'm going to move it. Oop, oop. There we go. I'm close. So I moved it with my finger on the screen, and I'm close. It's right. Ooh, that might be right on the money, because remember, even when I push down, mine's a little bit to the left. My needle, though, looks like it's right above it. I'm going to hand roll. I want to move over to the left and down. I'm going to do 2 arrows to the left, and I'm going to do 2 arrows down. Maybe 3 to the left. I'm going to hand roll again. Yep, I still want to go down. Let me hand roll again. Oh, perfect. It's how perfect you want to get it. I know, isn't this fun, Cindy? It's totally fun. Okay, I'm good. What's my next direction? We're not stitching yet. It's a long border piece, so now we got to swing it left or right to make sure that it's right in line here, okay? I found my spot, but I'm going to give you a second. Any questions? Because I want you to stitch with me, and I want you to not be stressed out. I want you to have fun. If anyone has any questions. And I can check this too. I'm not going to check it until I do my swing left and right. Then I can check it with the arrows down at the bottom, okay? So first thing I want you to do is make the start go right where it ended, so it's going to be seamless. Once you do that, say okay. Now it wants you to use the rotate keys to adjust the angle of the pattern while keeping an eye on the points around the pattern. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to swing it, and then I'll go ahead. These are the buttons that you're going to use to check it. You could always use your camera. I don't use my camera for this. I just go ahead and do it this way. I feel like I would use the camera if I was placing them each individually, which you can do as well. But I like the machine to guide me through it. So I'm going to do my swing in, swing out. Where's my, oh, here. Oh, you know why I didn't move? Because my needle wasn't all the way up. Oh, he's a big one. Did you see how far he went? He was big and chunky. It's going to be a big one. All right, okay, I did hoop this pretty straight. If yours isn't hooped straight, don't worry about it. That's why you have the swing in and swing out. I'm pretty happy with that. Although it would be over a little bit more. Look at where your needle is, because that's really going to be the best indicator. Or again, push your fabric down. I might swing it in just the tiniest bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I did it 4 times. There's my needle. I like where the needle is. It's probably right here is where it's going to stitch. I'm happy. I'm happy. Okay, while you guys are getting that, I'm going to touch all these points. Notice this one doesn't look like a corner because this is rectangular. The other one went down, in, because it was a corner piece. When we get to the other corner, then it's going to be like down here, up, over 1, depending on which corner it is. So if you're sitting there, just check. I'm going to push all the buttons, and you can see how you can check that on your piece. Here's my center. Push your fabric down. Looks good. Here's my top left. He's kind of close, but I'm going to leave it because that's based on my start and my stop. And as long as it's not going over the edge, I'm good with it. This is my rightmost. Ooh, he's kind of far in, but that's okay. What you see right here, it's going to nudge out the tiniest bit. So this is where I really focus on, and I just don't want this design going into my inner border. Let's check the bottom rightmost corner. Well, that looks good. I'm okay if it's a little further away from this side because that's where your binding's going to be. And if you decide you want these to be even skinnier, you can do that. You might go, okay, it's 2.5 inches, and Jeannie does 1/4 inch on each side. I like 1/2 inch on each side. You can do that too. So whatever way you want to do it. So this looks good to me. How are we? Faye, you'll be my, how I check. You ready? Are you stitching? You're like, oh, I'm already done. You're so slow. Okay, I like it. So I'm going to just go ahead and say, okay. Don't bring up your bobbin thread. It's going to bring it up in the center of the design. Go here. Go to stitch number 1. Miss Stephanie, how are you doing? I know Stephanie and Faye are stitching with me, I think. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm okay. Okay. I'm going to go really slow then right now. Miss Stephanie, how are you? Stephanie. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Let me grab my upper thread. I'm going to hold it in one hand. I'm going to hit my needle down, needle up, needle down, needle up. I'm going to sweep it underneath. And there's my other guy. And if you can't grab that other thread, just grab your tweezers. Grab your tweezers. These are the best. They're so strong right on the point. I know our fingers aren't what they used to be, or at least mine aren't. Anyone need help? Because I can go back too. You can always go back. So if you feel like you blow, like I remember in the beginning, sometimes I would blow through steps. I was like, what was I supposed to do? I'm so confused. I would just get trigger happy, button happy, just start pressing. You can always go back because on the screen where you go forwards and backwards stitches, you're going to have your segments right here. Miss Stephanie, are you stitching with me? Stephanie Boyk? You stitching? Okay, I'm going to hold it. We're going to start stitching. Pay attention if you need to. You can always pull your fabric. And for me, that was really important that I could just take it and just pull my fingers back a little bit if I needed to. Got it. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. This makes me happy. I love custom quilting. I just feel like it's so fun. The machine will just kind of walk you through the steps. The fabric is beautiful. This is it's Robin Givens, and if you want this fabric, we did sell out. I bought several bolts of it, but we just didn't. It just, I had it in mind for this project. But if you're interested, it's called Super Bloom, and maybe you can find it at your local quilt shop. Okay, I'm going to give you a minute. I'm just going to stare at it and look like, oh my goodness, you're gorgeous. You are one good-looking quilt border. Aren't ya? Aren't ya? Okay. How'd we do? Anyone have any questions? And if you get confused, just watch. You can walk through it. I'm going to show you how to get back. I'm ready for the next step, but let me show you how to get back to a step in case you need to. Here we go. Sorry, squeaky arm. Is it okay to connect? Yes. It wants me to rehoop. I'm going to just follow the instructions. I'm going to follow the instructions and then I'll show you, because you have to be, for you to get back to a step or go forward, you have to be on the screen from which you can go back forwards and backwards stitches, and I can't get there from here. Yay, Miss Diane. Good. I hope this is helpful for you. I'm going to go ahead and say, okay. I know I'm going to wait, and then I don't wait, but I'll go back some steps when we get to the other screen. So I'm going to say, okay. And it's showing you, look, the picture shows you how to rehoop. It wants you to have a little bit of the design peeking out, and then you're just going to hoop with your border kind of in the center if you can. That's why it's important to have some extra batting on the side. So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay. Oh, we didn't rehoop. Sorry. Let me give you the aerial view. All right, I'm going to take this out. you got to go snap hoop, right? Because like otherwise you have to slide the whole thing off your machine. You have to go find an area. Snap hoop, you're just going to slide it up. So awesome. Snap hoops for quilting. Just pull your fabric taut too. I'm going to slide them up. I'm going to feel for my top of my other hoop, and I'm going to make sure that this is within the hooping area. You want it in the hooping area because we need to match. And then I'm going to scoot it over this way a little bit. Although you have, you know, about 1/2 inch of nose, so it doesn't have to be this far over. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Let's be like sloppy hoopers. Be like, ooh, she's a sloppy hooper. I'm going to be sloppy hooper for this, so we'll have more swing. Okay, make sure you put this on top of the other one. And pull outward so it's nice and taut. Pull outward this way too. Check your hoop one more time. Check. Oh, look at this. Look at this guy. You've got to be careful for things sticking to your hoop because last thing you want is for this to kind of twist, go under. You don't see it, and then your needle's going into it. So just be mindful of that stuff likes to travel on your hoops. Oh, see, I'm not even on that. Be gentle. Take care. What is this? Hooping number 5, I think. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Oh, I don't even need my headset. I'm not even talking through that. Here we go. Oh my God, look at this. What a messy hooper. Good thing I'm on an Aveneer Luminaire, which will take care of that for me. We're going to read our instructions, and I think he's going to be okay. I think even if the foot gets him, it's just going to pull him back like that, but I'm just going to hold him like that. Look at your instructions. I'm trying to see if there's anything I missed on the screen. Going to be on the site so we can go back, right? Be on the site so we. Oh yeah, Donna, this will be up. This will be up, my friend. Okay, so we rehooped, we followed the instructions. Now my next instruction says, sorry, I know sometimes it autofocuses and doesn't autofocus great. Use the move pattern keys to align the start point with the end point of the previous pattern. I'm going to go ahead and say okay. Here we go. Okay, let me make sure. You can feel underneath too. Do you see my hands? Bloop, bloop, bloop. They're underneath because I'm just making sure everything is nice and taut. If you are just not trusting that, take the hoop off of the machine, rehoop, and check the back. But mine feels nice and smooth. All right, there is my little T. It wants me to take that and put it where that's my start point, put it on the end point. I'm going to, with on the screen, finger for general placement. I'm just going to move it here. I'm watching that T. Whoop, there. Okay, once you get it generally placed, now you're going to use the arrows for precision and get to know where your machine is starting and stopping. I'm learning right now that even my T, even when I push it down, because there's more loft with the fabric on the Aveneer and the Radiance, there's more loft that the machine can't take into account. I can't push it totally flat like it's a piece of paper. But I feel like I haven't done, this is my first auto split quilt sashing on the Aveneer. So just get to know your machine. All right, arrow up. Who cares where other machine has features like this? So if it's not perfect, be okay with it because it's pretty perfect. So I'm using my up arrow and I'm going to move my arrow to the left a little bit. You can hold it down to go a little bit faster. I'm going to go up a little bit more and then I'm going to hand roll. Oh, I can tell right now. My thread is to the left, so I'm going to move it to the right. Nope, other way. There we go. There we go. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm eyeballing my needle above my point. I'm going to hand roll. I'm going to go over. Yeah, that looks good. Be on the site. Yeah, my okay. Okay, I am right on the money. I'm right on the money. I'm not gonna. You know what? I'll show you when we get to bring needle up, needle down, how you can go backwards and forward steps. But that is right on the money. But look at my hooping. It's gonna stitch and go right off of off of my border. Who cares? We can swing it. Swing it, ladies and gents. All right. Okay. So I have my start and my stop. You can check your points, but I don't want to check my points yet. I'm just going to say okay, and then it should prompt me to do the swing. Use the rotate key to adjust the angle of the pattern. So now I'm going this way. I can swing it, so I'll be right in line with my messy hooping. Messy hoopers, sorry. The focus on this sometimes works really well and sometimes it doesn't. So it's just telling you what we're going to do. It's giving you the next instruction. I'm going to say okay. And now it's going to let us do the swing. There's my little swing out and swing in. Oh, look at that. We are way off. Who cares? We can go ahead and swing it. Okay, I'm going to go by the 1 degrees. And I feel like 1 degrees are like 5 degrees. That looks pretty good. What do you think? We might use our scrunch up and scrunch down this time too, because our corner, he's out a little more than I want him. That looks good. But my corner piece, you know what I don't like is I think I want to scrunch him up because the corner piece might go. I don't see where it's going to have room to do the corner. I don't see that. Okay, I want you to find where you're at. I'm going to use my go ahead to see what that next corner piece is, because if I need more of a corner, I'm going to take this design and I'm going to scrunch them up. Because most corners, they're like an L. This one only looks like it has room to do like a corner this way. So I want to look and see what it looks like. Okay, so this is where we're going to go and use our forward and back step. So, and I'm going to have to redo what I just did. But, you know, once you get used to it, you can do it really fast. So just keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to say, okay. I want to go to the next step because I want to see what that corner piece looks like to see if I have enough room for that. This is where you go forwards and backwards steps. And this is step 5 that we're on. So we're on step 5. I'm going to look at step 6. The reason it looks like this is because it's going to ask us to turn our fabric, and he's pretty far down. Like, I mean, he's pretty big, and I don't see where I'm going to have that much room to do that corner, like this part of it. So I'm going to go back to step 5. I'm going to say, okay. I'm already rehooped, so I'm not going to rehoop. I'm just going to do these steps. I'm going to match, and I'm going to take mine and I'm going to scrunch them up a little bit so I have like room to go around. So I'm going to do the L. All right. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do those steps that we had already done. I'm going to drag this with my finger. And now I'm going to use my arrows. Okay, I'm going to hand roll. Ooh, looks good. Right on the money. And now I'm going to swing. So once I line that up, and I'm just repeating these steps. It's going to make you repeat. If you go out of here to go to the next step and back, it does not hold what you did. So I'm going to just say, okay. Oh, look at that. So he's going to end further up. Do you see that? I don't think I read my instructions carefully. I didn't read them. Because he wants you to rotate, but he wants you to get lined up. We were pretty much on the money there. So he wants you to line up with that corner, but remember, because we're doing 1/4 inch less, we're going to do it more at a diagonal. That's where we want. Oh, we were perfect. We were perfect. Are you eating at home? I'm going to come meet with you, Patrick. That's Patrick, my lunch planner. Okay, so sorry, guys. We didn't have to do that. I was worried because we were so far down, but that's what it wanted. That's what happens when you go on autopilot and you think you read the instructions, but you didn't read the instructions. We're going to be lining up right down here. So we were kind of right on the money. I'm going to say, okay. I'm going to go. See how it ended? And there's all this empty spot. That's for the top of the L. That's what you get when you have an instructor who thinks she knows what she's talking about. Okay, I'm good with this. It's still up here because probably my needle. So I'm going to go, yeah. If it's up there, my needle wasn't all the way up in the up position, so I'm just going to hit that. And now it's going to go. That is what we wanted. Oh my God, we are so close. Okay. Remember, we took out that 1/2 inch. So I want it to be at, or the 1/4 inch here. So I want it to be right here at a diagonal. So it comes down. My design will go like that and not be right here on the edge. So I'm going to swing this point in and I want it to be right about there. Hopefully this is making sense because I don't know. That's just how I figured it out. Ooh, it looks good. But when I push my fabric down too far over to the right. Oh, I like that. Maybe down a little bit. This is where you scrunch and you pinch and you pull. If you are too far up or too far down, now you have these 2 buttons here. Do you see them? And look at the picture. It tells you what it's going to do. It's going to go up or it's going to go down. I feel like mine is a little too high, so I'm going to pull it down. Just a couple of clicks. There we go. Let's take a look at it now and see how it is. Oh my God, it was perfect before and I was all stressed out. But that's okay. You got a lesson on going forward and back. I like that. That to me is perfect, but I know that I might want it to the inside just a little bit. And scrunch it up or down. I might scrunch it up just like a click. Okay, looks good. Love it. I'm going to stitch. How are we doing? I'm going to stitch. I'm happy. I'm happy. And I didn't even notice. See all this dead space right here? That's where the other part of the corner is going to go. I thought this was going all the way to the bottom and then there was no room to do that, but I wasn't paying attention. So I like what I have. I'm going to say okay. And don't bring up your bobbin thread. It's going to bring it up right here. You got to hit this button where you go forward and backward stitches. Go to stitch number 1. Bring up your bobbin thread here. Oh no! You really do have to kind of concentrate, follow those instructions. And if this is your practice, that is okay. You'll get better and better. And I found that as I did it, I mean, my first ones, I was fudging it hard. Like there were so many ones where I was like, okay, that didn't work. And I forced it. But just do it. The more you do it, the easier it get, the more it's going to make sense to you. You can go back, forwards, and look how off it looks like. It looks like I'm off 1/8 of an inch, but I'm not. Hold this in your left hand, go needle down, needle up, pop up your bobbin thread, sweep this. You have that hook. Oh, but you know what? I want him to be down. If he doesn't go down, put him down and grab him underneath the foot. Otherwise, it makes a big old mess. And then I can see my other little thread. I'm going to grab him with my tweezers. And I'm going to stitch. Yes. Sometimes we skip a step. Sometimes we don't read the instructions. Sometimes we go on autopilot and we go, oh, and you think you know what it says, but you don't. Like just now when I thought that design was filling up that whole spot, but it left that whole area for me to turn the corner. I'm going to turn the corner. I'm going to get stitching and then I'm going to kind of start cruising. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of, because you guys are getting the picture. I think turning the corner, that's going to be, that'll make more sense to you too once we do that. And then you just repeat. You're just going to do corner all the way down the side, corner all the way down the side. Yeah, if you do this and then you don't do it for a while, you might forget. So, yes, I like to leave these so you guys can watch them. I just love YouTube. Is YouTube just the best? Yay! We're to our first corner. So we did the top corner. We went all the way down. Just follow the instructions. The name of this tool is the Corey, and I'll leave it up at that price. I might have to order more, but this is called the Corey Hook and Snip. And I don't know if you've ever seen Corey, but like Corey's so cool, and Corey's a quilter, and this design's just awesome, I feel like. All right. So embroidery's finished. Is it okay to connect the next pattern? We're going to say okay. One side was sewn. You're going to turn the fabric 90 degrees counterclockwise and then rehoop. You're going to rehoop it in the embroidery frame. So we're going to take the thing off. Our quilt right now is going this way, up and down. We're going to grab it and we're going to turn it counterclockwise. That's really important. And then the corner right now that's down here in the bottom is going to come up here and it's going to be the top right corner. So let's do it. All right. And it's showing you a picture. See right here? That's what it looks like right now. This is the bottom corner. You're going to swing it, and then it's going to be the top right corner. All right. Let me see if I can get you a great view like that. Take off your upper hoop, the top hoop. And if you guys want a snap hoop, reach out, and I will do your snap hoop at 20% off. I got to confirm the price. See? We're just going to turn it. Turn it. Turn it. There we go. We're going to hoop. If I was using, oh my God, maybe this will fit. If I was using the biggest hoop, I bet this whole thing would fit. The new biggest hoop that I don't have, and it would totally fit. I mean, wouldn't it be great if this fit? Try to center it, because, is that going to fit? I'm going to do it. I'm going to hope it fits. Okay, pull out your ring. So top and bottom. Oop, not even on there. Make sure. Oh, guess what? Scissors. I have 3 things over here. Oop, tweezers. Oh my God. Passengers. Here we go. Pull outward. Make sure top is on. That's on top. Outward. Okay, we should be good to go. Hopefully my head wasn't. Oh, you get the shoulder. Sorry. You guys get the gist though, right? This is how I have it hooped. Right there and right there. You got the shoulder. I'm just not a fancy filmer. I'm sorry. Oh, that's okay. If you got one triple, did you get triple stitch for the whole thing? And maybe triple stitch looks gorgeous. I just haven't used triple stitch. I kind of like to single stitch. Yes, they grab everything. So I'm just keeping track and going, 3 things should always be to the right. Okay, I am rehooped. I'm hoping this all fits. It would be so great. There we go. Here we go. So I turned it, and now my bottom right corner is now my top right corner. We're going to say okay. It wants you to move those so the start and the end are at the same spot. Here's my piece. So I'm going to move this with my finger. General placement. I'm going to look right here. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. Got you. So I can see it right here. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Now I'm going to use my arrows. So finger for general placement. You could use your arrows for the whole thing. Don't let me be. I'm so bossy. God, are you guys like, I like watching her videos, but she's so bossy. Okay, this one's kind of hard to see just because I don't, where it is. I'm going to hand roll. I need to move it over more. Because it's a green arrow on a green. Oh, I wonder if I could change that. Let me see if I can change that color. I'm going to my settings. Let's go back and see if I can. Embroidery pointer color. Let's try pink. Oh, yeah. There we go. I can see that better. I'm going to hand roll it. Oh, I'm way off. I need to go over. I need to go down. So hand roll because it'll get you close, but I need to go down one more. And come on, if you don't care to, if you don't care about it being that precise. Okay, I'm good. Oh, sorry. Did you like that? Did you like that view of nothing? Sorry about that. I was just hand rolling, checking. It looks good right there. So I think I'm good. Sorry about that. I was just moving with my arrows. You didn't have a great view. Sorry. Just use your imagination. So I'm right where I want. I changed my my crosshair because it was green, and the pink is a little bit better for me. So you have lots of different options. Like if you were on green fabric, last thing you want to do is use the green pointer. Okay, I'm where I want to be. You can check if you want to look. Oh, I should do that. Let's do that. I'm going to go top right corner because remember, it doesn't let you swing the corner. So it's not letting me move because remember I was hand rolling and sometimes that puts your needle in the inappropriate position. I'm going to check. I'm going to check the... Good. I'm within my fabric. That's what I really want to focus on is that I'm within my fabric. And I'm going to check here. I mean, this looks really good. Do you see that? I don't even know if I need to check. Here's my inner corner. Like maybe it'll let us swing this out a little bit. Let me see what features are on this one. I'm a little bit close, but it still looks good. It's not going to be riding into my inner border. Oh, look, I do get a little bit of rotate. So use the rotate. I know it's putting the red dot right on that corner, but since we are doing a 1/4 inch in, we want it to be about a 1/4 inch diagonal from that red dot. So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay. Now it has a little bit of a swing. So I guess it's maybe just the first one that you have to be right on the money. I was like, I thought there was a swing with it. Okay. I want it to do a little bit more of a swing out to the right. Just a little bit. And I'm looking at my needle too, and that looks like it would go right here, which would make me happy. So I'm happy with that. I'm good with it. You've got a swing. You've got this swing, and you've got a little bit of squish too. You can squish it or you can stretch it a little bit left and right. Just look at your keys. It's going to tell you what you can do. You can squish it up and down. You can squish it left and right. So you got a little bit of squish and you got a swing. Do you like my technical terms? Don't look for those in your manual. All right. If you like what you see, go ahead and say okay on your screen. And do not bring your bobbin thread up here. This is where we're bringing it up. You need to go right here where you can go forward and backward stitches. Go to stitch number 1. It's going to move it so that the start is right above the finish. You're going to grab your upper thread. Where are you, upper thread? Mine's lost. Hang on. Here he is. I need to pull him. I need to rethread. Hold that in one hand. Go needle down, needle up. Foot underneath the foot is where you're going. You want both threads underneath the foot. If you don't get that bobbin one, just grab it with your tweezers. It's going to be short if it's the machine's cutting for you. If you don't like it short, then you have to pull the threads and cut them manually, but that's kind of a pain. It makes a big old mess. Okay, I'm going to hit start. It's doing my corner. I would recommend having your little spatula just in case it gets really close to the edge and you need to grab it. And corner 1 done. Or corner 2. I definitely like it a certain way. But then sometimes I'm like, oh, but I want you to do it how it makes you happy. That was pretty close up top. It's going to be in the binding. It's okay. I do like it a little bit further down, but it's all right. And I think sometimes you need to be not told what to do, but sometimes there's just so many different ways and your brain just goes, oh my God, I could do it this way. I could do it this way. I could do it this way. And then I can be like, do it like this. And then as you get to know it, you can change it. This might be easier for now. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm going to snip some of these. Remember, you can just snip those. You brought it to the top. It does a locking stitch. So if you have all those messy threads, just go ahead and cut them. Okay? All right. Let's follow the directions. Guess what, guys? I'm going to go and I'm just going to do this. I want you to see how quickly this can be done. Like just doing the length of it, doing a corner, that will kind of show you how this is done. And now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do the auto split quilt sashing. What time is it right now? It is, so that took us 2 hours. Let me show you how fast you can do it once you get in a roll. All right. And I will still walk you through it. I'm still going to tape the whole thing. You can slow it down if you want. So I'm going to say, okay. It doesn't say rehoop. So we're just going to rotate. It's going to fit this in. This is what I missed on that last one. So I'm going to make sure I shoot for that dot being like diagonal 1/4 of an inch from that dot. Okay. I'm going, okay. Because since we're not rehooping, you don't have to match the start with the end. It will do it automatically for you. For me, I think I want to swing it in a little bit. I might go up a little bit. Just using the buttons on my machine. I'm going to go up a little more. And I'm going to swing it in a little bit more. I'm really looking at my needle. Okay, I like it. I'm going to say okay. And there's no other instructions. Do you see that? No other instructions means we're going to stitch. I'm going to go to needle, or I'm going to go to stitch number 1. If there's no instructions for you to do anything else, it's just ready for you to stitch. I'm going to go needle down, needle up. So let's sweep it. Sweep the foot. Do you remember that from Karate Kid? They're like, sweep the foot. Or no, sweep the leg. That's what you're doing right now. Sweep it. There we go. Okay. Then we're just going to follow the directions. And let's see how long it takes us. Once you guys get comfortable with it. Gorgeous. I love you. Auto split quilt sashing. You're so beautiful. And this design, I gotta admit, it's my favorite. I just love just the feathers on everything. There's another feather design. It's a little bit busier than this one. And you might have a fail. You might have a auto split quilt sashing fail. So if you want to practice, the other thing that you could practice, okay. Is it okay to connect? Yes. Rehoop. One side was sewn, turn the fabric 90 degrees counterclockwise and rehoop it in the embroidery frame. Okay, let's do that. So if you want to practice, I should have suggested that. You can always get, and it's something that you love. You can oh my God, look how cute this is. Is this just gorgeous? Does that look amazing? It looks amazing. Call me if you want an Aveneer. If you're from out of town, you have to come see us, but that's not too bad. Okay, I'm gonna rehoop. What was I saying? Oh, use water-soluble thread. Like if you you can use water-soluble thread in your bobbin, and then you can pull it out. The only thing with that is then you're definitely going to be redoing it. You know what I mean? But if you want to practice, anytime you want to practice and you're doing free motion, you can always use water-soluble thread. Because you can take those out. A lot of times when I do quilting classes and I'm going to do it on the same panel over and over again, I use water-soluble thread so we don't have to like waste a panel every single time. This keeps moving my hoop. So I'm just going to hold my hoop there. Okay, looks good. Let me pull out all the wrinkles you might have. You can run your hand underneath. Make sure that it's nice and taut. Okay, feels good. All right. Wants me to move the pattern keys, align your start and your stop. I'm going to use my finger to move the design in the general area. And then I'll use the arrows for precise placement. And I did switch that color to pink, which is a little better. Okay, kind of close. Now I'm going to hand roll and just check it. Somebody asked something. You know who I'm bossy with? Patrick. He's bossy with me too. I gotta tell you. But you know, that's how you are with those. That means you love them. I want to go over and down. I just want your stuff to be perfect. Okay, maybe one more click. See, that's how I like it pretty precise. I like it when I'm quilting, I like it to look seamless. Like you can't tell where it started and where it ended. So I like that my edge to edge. I like it when I'm doing this too. All right. I got my start and my stop. I'm going to say okay. Use the rotate key. So it gives you your next instruction. Then it'll give you the keys to do it. So now we can swing and we can scrunch left and right. So that looks like not even close to where I want to be. So I'm going to swing it out. Ooh, I'm going to pull it out. See how it's stretching your design? Because you don't want to swing it too much because it takes... Okay, I really just need to kind of grow it and stretch it this way. I swear this is different on... I don't think this... I could be wrong, but I don't think this is on the Luminaire for these pieces. What you don't want to do is just swing it because it's going to swing the whole design. I'm really trying to stretch it. So that's what I'm doing right there. So let's stretch. Whoops! Sorry. Camera arm. I'm going to bring it. Let's see. Maybe I'm going to bring it in one and then I'm going to just stretch it. There we go. Okay, and that's as much as they'll let me stretch it, but that looks like enough. So I would advise you, if it's not reaching where you want to go and it looks like it's in line, stretch it as much as you can, as opposed to taking the design and rotating, because it's going to rotate it like this. You know what I mean? It might not be in line here. So I did a combination stretching and I rotated maybe the tiniest bit. This looks like it's right where it wants to be here, but when I push it down, that's really where I want it. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and say okay on my screen. There's no further instructions, which means I'm ready to stitch. Go to stitch number 1. Both threads underneath the foot. That upper thread too. You don't want him above the hole in the foot because he'll make a big mess. Okay, make sure you grab that bobbin thread and start stitching. Miss Angela, are you stitching? I love my brothers, but oh my God, I would have loved to have a sister. I would have loved a sister. What I love about having a daughter is, oh my God, I love, I love having a son too, but daughters are like having a girlfriend. Now that Violet's older. No fingers. Get yourself, oh, he's up and over. Be careful, because, uh-oh. Okay, see that? He's up and over. I didn't even look. I should have checked that. I should have checked because it stretched this out. This is going to catch underneath the foot. So I should have looked. Okay, that's good. Now you know what to look for. I'm going to put my foot up. I'm going to pop that down. If he had kept going, he would have just pulled the fabric and just made a big old mess. So you're going to watch. If it comes off again, hit your stop button. I'm going to keep my thumb on my stop button. Okay, see how he's over here? If you want to slow it down so you can control it, I'm going to go ahead and push this down with this finger. I'm going to hold my start stop. He will stitch slowly. Oops, I'm going to stop it because he's under the foot now. This is risky business. What I'm doing right now is totally risky. What's that guy right here? What's this? Just a thread? You've got to watch it because coming up and over from the right side over always catches that edge. So you don't want that design to come off the edge, and I just didn't even realize. But that's okay. Now you guys see what can happen and what to watch out for. Okay, he's off the edge. I'm just going to slow it down right now, and I'm going to go really slowly back up on. And then you can let go of it, and it'll resume regular speed. Oopsies! But I wanted it away from here, and I didn't want to rotate it out of the way. That's okay. You know to be careful. If you've ever done edge to edge, and when those stitches come over here, those are the most dangerous stitches that are going from the right to the left. Because this little part catches it. When you go from the left to the right, it's not as bad because you have all of this. So it's not as deadly. Okay, I'm just going to be stitching. So, and I'm just going to be doing it with you guys watching. We don't have to rehoop. We just need to swing. It wants us to rotate the keys. There's my T. I'm going to swing it out. I'm using my... I used my 1, and now I'm using my 0.1, and I'm looking at my needle. I like where my needle is. I'm good to go. The start and the stop will already be done by the machine because we didn't rehoop. I'm just going to say okay. I'm going to go to stitch number 1. Let's bring up that bobbin thread. Oh, my thread was caught. Needle down, needle up. It is right where we started. So have these good tweezers, your Corey, what is this called? The Corey hook and snip, and a little spatula to save your fingers in case you're tempted to reach under there. It's kind of it. I like these snips because I can sweep and I can snip at the same time. Follow your instructions. Is it okay to pattern connect? Okay. Rehoop. I'm going to say okay. I'm feeling for that other, whatchamacallit, the hoop on the underside. Just make sure he's in there. Know if you have like a heavy quilt, you really have to support that quilt because it can drag. It can throw off your hoop. Got a little crease here, but that's okay. All right, I'm rehooped. Wants me to match the start and the stop. I'm going to move it with my finger to get it in the general area on this screen. And then I'll use my arrows. Whoop, too far. I'm going to hand roll. Looks like looks perfect. So I have my start and my stop. Now I'm going to say okay to that. Now it wants me to do my swing. I'm going to say okay. And I'm way out here. I'm going to use my arrows. I'm looking at my needle too. Push your fabric down. Look, it looks like it's right there, but when I push my fabric down, that T is much further out. So look at your needle too. Like pay attention to where your needle is. That looks good to me. Done. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to go to stitch number 1. No further directions means it's time to sew. Whoop. Whoop. Sorry. Someday I'll find the perfect filming system. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to go needle down, needle up. Oh, I'm way off. I am way off. Okay, I don't like that. So guess what? I can go back. So I didn't like that at all. That is not up to my standards. So I'm in the middle of this step. I can't just go back to where I found the start and the stop. I'm on step 10. I'm going to go back to step 9. And then I'm going to go back to step 10. But it is going to make me find my start and stop again. So I'm going to say okay. And it's going to walk me through. I already rehooped. Don't have to do that. But I'm going to do my start and my stop. So you get another chance. It's okay. I'm going to move this design with my finger for general placement. How was I so off? I thought I was right on the money. Here, let's get you a better view. Nope. Sometimes you'll move it and you don't roll it up quite enough. And it's going to make you do it. That is perfect. Okay. That is perfect. Let me do it one more time. Make sure. Maybe I need to. One more click. Okay. I feel good about that one. All right. So I'm going to say okay. Now I have to do my swing. I'm going to say okay on the screen. And it's not giving me, it didn't move where I want it to be, which means my needle's not in the right position. Just fix that, and then I'll move. Okay, that's where I'm at. I want to swing it out. Okay, I'm good with that. I'm good with it. I'm going to say okay. No more instructions means it's time to stitch needle number 1, or stitch number 1. Okay, that's on the money. I don't know what happened before, but maybe it was my side eye. Couldn't really see. Here we go. Could you use, yes. Yeah, you could do the good old painter's tape or whatever you want to do. I like to just muscle my way through and live on the edge. And that's all the excitement I really get. That's my Thelma and Louise moment. So guys, I just have to finish this straight away and make the corner for the last short side and we're done. So, I mean, it's taken us a little longer because, you know, we're doing it for the first time. I'm trying to be super thorough with you. Guessing it's going to have me rehoop. Is it okay to connect? Okay. Please rehoop. Let's go ahead and rehoop. Sorry, you get the shoulder view sometimes. I'm going to take this off. Oops, everything's sticking to my... I want to pull my fabric nice and taut. Here is my top. I want it to be in my embroidery field. Yes, you heard everything sticking. Just one thing. And you know what would probably have been better if I sewed my embellishments on after. Because they do make it a little thicker in some areas. I'm pulling out my wrinkles over here too. Ooh, good. I'm just feeling, oh, what's this? This is like sticking up right there. It was nothing, just my imagination. Okay. Feels good underneath. Looks good on top. Rehoop, done. End point and start point. Okay. I'm going to move it with my finger on the screen for general placement, and then we'll use the arrows for precision. All right. I'm looking at my needle too. I'm looking at my needle and my stitch, and I'm making sure those kind of line up. I woke up this morning kind of dreaming about this, being like, oh, I want it to be fantastic. I want to be on my game today so you guys get something out of this. So hopefully you guys are into it. All right, that is my start and my stop. I just hand rolled. It looks good. Threading. Where'd the thread go? Hang on, I gotta rethread. Okay, so we're right where we need to be. That's the first step. Now it's gonna want to do the swing. We're gonna rotate, and look, he's in the middle of it. It's not down at the corner, so we don't have to worry about that. but let's go ahead and do our swing in, swing out. I know it looks like it's right on the money, and that looks like it's right on the money, but my needle's a little further out. I'm going to swing it in just the tiniest bit. There, that's how I like it. I'm going to say okay on my screen. No more steps on my screen, which means we're ready to stitch. Go to stitch number 1. Go to where you go forwards and back. Look at step 11 of 14. Okay. I mean, that's exciting, isn't it? You go 14 steps. That sounds like forever. I mean, the stitch outs are a minute, but there's setup. You got to get set up. He's below. Let me grab that little guy. I mean, look at how it's projected. So the projector is pretty amazing on the Aveneer. Okay, hold these. Stitch. Have your little spatula just in case. And I use that all the time, Miss Joanne. Like I always like when, even if it's just embroidery, I'm always like finger for general placement, arrows for precision. Like I always just drag stuff around on my screen just to get it in the general area, and then just use your arrows. Or, I mean, there are times where I just use my arrows, like if there's a design on top of a design and you don't want to move that design underneath, I use it on my scan and cut too. Oh my goodness, we're getting close to the corner. So we're gonna have probably what? The last placement is the most fun because you're gonna match, like you have to match the start and the end of the first one, and then the end to the you're matching it in 2 spots, and that's where you're like, oh my goodness, look at me go. Okay, it's finished. Can we connect? Sure can. Please rehoop. We're just going down the straightaway. So corners, that's when you rotate clockwise, but this one just going down the straightaway. And I just go, this is amazing that you guys can do this yourself, that we can do this like custom quilting in your borders, around corners. I don't know. I just think it's so cool. Another reason to have a brother machine, which a baby lock is too. And you can look, I'm not hooped perfectly straight, but who cares? Because you got the swing in and swing out. Swing it on my butterfly. I'm so sad that I lost him, but it was necessary for what we were doing. Please rehoop the fabric. Done. We're going to say okay. We're going to move that point, start point to the end point. You're going to use your finger on the screen for general placement and then the arrows for precision. Here's my, because yeah, you don't want to sit there and like do the arrows for all of that, right? So use your finger because it's fast. All right, now we're going to go ahead. The arrows are pretty fast too, though. I think they're faster than the Luminarie, but I could be wrong. All right. There were some growing pains with the Aveneer, but I feel like a lot of those have worked themselves out. I'm waiting for one more thing to be perfect, and then it will be my next love. Well, first it's Patrick, then it's my kids, and then Luminaire was such a big love of mine. My baby, oh, Stephanie, you're going to love the multi-needle. Okay, ready? So I'm done here. You say okay on your screen and you see if it's going to give you another instruction. Oh, it does. We got to rotate and we got to line it up. Remember, I'm going 1/4 of an inch diagonal, or like 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch diagonal from the dot, where the dot is on the corner, because we are not doing it right to the edge. So I'm going to say okay. If it doesn't move where you want it to go, that means your needle's not in the right position, because I was hand rolling it. Your machine is not broken. So I need to fix that. Look, now it's moving where it needs to go because I'm hand rolling. It needs to be in the right position for that. Okay, we got to snug it in. So I'm going to go 1 degree. Oop, too much. Or that actually, oh, that might be good. And now I'm going to scrunch it a little bit. Remember, you can scrunch. Oh, maybe that was too much. Put your finger down, hold it down, look at your needle. Where is it at? I'm going to unscrunch one. You know, it went over the edge. I'm going to scrunch it back up. Remember, it went over the edge when we turned it? And I was like, I did not like that. And then it was like, then we were doing all that risky stuff. I said, okay. If you say okay and there's no other instructions, that means you're ready to stitch. Go here where you go forward and backward stitches. We're going to go to stitch number 1. That should be right on the money. Mine is stitch me up. I need to ask. I see a lot of people using Juki. Do you like Juki sewing machines? As far as industrial machines go, well, okay. I don't have an industrial machine, but I think people love their Jukis. You would be best talking to somebody that has a industrial machine and seeing what they say. I mean, sorry, I hit the wrong button. Quite honestly, if I was going to get industrial, I think I might look at a Juki because I think it has such like a good reputation as far as sewing machines go. And Juki sewing machines, like just regular, let me pull them up. Just regular, I don't see my thread. Where are you? Are you that tiny? Hang on, let me see if I can get them again. As far as sewing machines, I would talk to Patrick because I feel like I've heard some, I don't know. I don't want to say anything because what do I know? Okay, hang on. Where are you, my little guy? My bobbin thread. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Hopefully I can catch him. Poppy. Oh, there you are. But my upper thread is above the hole in my foot. You got to put it down through the hole in the foot. I would talk to Patrick like, we've been a dealer for other companies, and I got to tell you, I think the Brother machines, along with the Brother company that stands behind it, I think they're the best machines out there. Like, I cannot sell things. I cannot sell them unless I believe it's the best, and I really, really think they're the best. And that's not saying what you have isn't the best if you have a different brand, but we've sold other brands, and like, I would have a really tough time if we weren't selling Brothers because I think they're the best out there. Okay, there you go. All right, we're ready to stitch. Go ahead and hold these taut. Here we go. Lainey, I think this is the best machine on the market. But there's going to be other people that might disagree. We are Brother dealers, but we've sold other machines, and I would have a tough time if we weren't selling Brothers. guess what? We are on step, I think we're going to be on step 13. Is this 13 and 14? Okay, here we go. Let's do it again. Okay to pattern connect. Yes. Wants us to, one side was sewn, turn the fabric 90 degrees counterclockwise, and then rehoop it in the embroidery frame. Okay. And then we're going to want to connect those. So I'm going to go ahead and unhoop. Whoops, sorry. Hang on. I need it to be up and above like this so you can see. Counterclockwise, because you want the bottom right corner to become the top right corner. Ooh, look, I'm nowhere near being on top of where it needs to be. Don't worry about it being sloppy like this. You're just going to grab your fabric, pull outwards, and then you'll pull it to the right. And then we're going to check and make sure the top hoop is right on top of the bottom hoop. I am not. I'm going to scoot it over. Check right here. You have about 1/2 inch of no sew on the right side, so we have plenty of room. We have plenty of room, top and bottom too. There we go. I mean, is this gorgeous? Look at the quilting. Is that gorgeous? And now we're going to do, I think we have to do the corner and then one more hooping. That's going to stop right there. But look how beautiful. I have to trim these threads. But is this just amazing? Okay, I'm getting really excited. So excited. Okay, we're going to align. Start with the stop. Finger on your screen for general placement. Arrows for precision. Okay, there we go. It's close, but I'm looking also at my needle and push that fabric down. And even if it's off 1/8 of an inch, because the camera really is made for like it to be like so flat, don't worry about it. You're going to use your eye too. You're going to use your eye. I'm going to hand roll. And nothing wrong with doing stuff the old-fashioned way, too. Oh, that looks good. I want to bring it 1 stitch down. If it doesn't let you move it, just means your needle's not in the appropriate stop position. You're just going to hit the needle down, needle up. That looks good. I'm happy with that. Let's go on to the next step. Once you've matched it. Now, like I said, if it doesn't automatically go to where it'll do the swing, means your needle's not in the right spot. So now we're going to do this part from the dot. I'm going to position mine about 1/4 inch diagonal northeast of that. So say okay. I said okay. This didn't move. Why didn't it move? Because my needle's in an inappropriate start stop position because I was hand rolling. So just hit your needle up and down. There, and that fixes it. Okay, this is not where we need it to be. I want it to be right here. Here's where the picture shows you, and that's if you want that design to go right to the edge. But I want a little leeway, so I want it to be right about here. So I'm going to swing it out. I might squish it over just a little bit, because remember when we squished over before, it was too much. Pull this down. I'm going to still pull it out a little bit. Pulling it out just a little bit. I'm going to check that. Okay, here we go. I want it to be down a little bit. That's probably okay. We're going to check it because last time it was way off. It went way over, and where it went over was right here. So let me check this. Oh, we're still good. We're on the money still. Push it down. So I'm still going to pull it out a little bit to the right. We're still good. And that corner is where I want it to be. That's what I'm looking at. Let me look at the top. We're good. We're within, everything is within the edges. So I'm happy. Let's go ahead and say okay. No more steps, no more instruction. It means we're ready to stitch. We're going to hit this and go to stitch number 1. That's where you're bringing up the bobbin thread. Do not bring up your bobbin thread in the center of the design. Okay, here we go. I'm going to reach underneath the foot and sweep it. You want to sweep it under because you want that upper thread to stay below. Grab your tweezers, grab that thread, and start stitching. And then we'll have one hooping left. And we're not even going to have to re-hoop because there'll be room. And from the time we started checking before to do the other half, it took us what? I think it's probably taken us like 45 minutes. So if I just sat down to do this, it probably would have taken me maybe, oh, my bobbin. I was so close. All right. I'm not going to have enough bobbin thread. For this, I did 1 bobbin. It was so close. Cut your thread. So go ahead and hit your scissor button. Or actually, this will do it all for you. Hit this button if you have the Aveneer. And then the carriage is going to move, but it is going to automatically cut it for you. So you don't have to do that step. I always forget that. So I'm so used to just trimming it myself. I'm going to take this off. Be careful that you don't. The one thing I don't like about snap hoops is the top is not really secured to the bottom. So when you go to take it off, you have to be super mindful that both pieces come off together. I'm trying to make sure. Because if it shifts, that's the one thing I don't like about my snap hoops. I'm going to put this bobbin in. And then we're going to put this back on. Be very mindful, purposeful as you're sliding it on, that everything stays together. If it moves, that is not the hoop's fault or the machine's fault. That is you. So you be careful. Okay. Why am I not sliding on? You also have to be careful that you don't move the embroidery arm, right? I did that. It's going to go back. Bring up your bobbin thread. Go back 10 stitches. How do you do that? You go here to the button where you can go backwards and forward stitches. I'm going to go -10 so my stitches overlap. And now I'm going to bring up my bobbin thread. Oh, we were so close. So close to getting it done with that one bobbin. What if you're not on, you're like not right on there? I'm probably like just 1 stitch off. That's okay. I mean, it's fabric and it might have moved just the tiniest bit while I was doing that. Not the machine's fault. Fabric is malleable. Looks perfect. Maybe I'm not even 1 stitch off. Maybe it was perfect. All right. Is it okay to connect? Yes. Use the pattern keys to align the start. I'm surprised it's having me do that because I'm not rehooping. Okay. Let's line it up. It's right there. So I'm not even moving it. It's right where it needs to be. I'm going to go ahead. You know what I think it wanted me to do? Did it say the start, or was it the end? So that's right where it needs to be. I'm going to say okay, and then use that to rotate, and you're going to have the end go to the start of the other one. We're going to say okay. And look at where we're at. We are so close. I mean, that is like almost right on the money. I'm looking at my needle and I think it's going to go right there. I might be like, I'm going to go one click down. I'm going to do 2 clicks down. I think it's perfect. That was pretty darn perfect. I'm going to say okay. If yours isn't perfect the first time or the second time or the third time, don't worry about it. For me, it's really important, those ends and those starts. The very last one, I think this one's going to be lined up pretty darn good. I'm going to go to stitch number 1 because we want to bring up our bobbin thread. Hang on. There we go. I'm going to sweep it underneath. I want my other thread to go underneath. I'm going to grab my precision tweezers. And you know what I have to do next? I have to bind this. And I mean, it's so special. I need something special, right? Here we go. Actually, I think did I already make binding for this? I'm going to have to look. This kind of sat for a while. Because I was waiting for everyone to get their kits. We had a second group of kits that went out. So hopefully you guys all get it done. Let's see how on the money we are. Oh my goodness. I gotta zoom in. Okay, here we go. Here is, oh, there it is. I am like 1 stitch away. Do you see that? So 1 stitch away from the end to the start. But let's take a look at the whole thing because it's so pretty. I'm not going to do a binding video. I'm just going to finish it because I've done plenty for you. Let's come over here though. Here we go. On a trip with my squeaky filming arm. And we are done. I'm going to just trim it. I'll keep all this batting that we used. I got to trim it right now because it's so beautiful. And we're going to take a peek at it. Just keep stitching. If you're stitching, don't let this be a UFO. I'm just going to go off with it. Ooh, it's so cute. What if you had a giant pucker in the back? I'd be like, oh well. So you're going to want to trim those threads. I don't really measure. I just kind of I just kind of trimmed the outside of this stitch. I figure if it's off the tiniest bit, it's not going to make a difference. Not to me. And I might give this a little pressy press, but here we go. Here is our, and I haven't trimmed the threads, but here is our gorgeous auto split quilt sashing. Isn't that gorgeous? And there's so many designs in the machine. I can't remember how many there are. There are, I've never done them, but there's the designs that have 2 colors. So if you wanted to do a 2-color design, you could do that as well. So, that is it, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. This is just a little lesson on auto split quilt sashing. It's a feature that you're going to have in the Aveneer. The Luminarie, it's a little beefed up on the Aveneer, which is really, really nice with the projector, and like it's just a little bit brighter, has a little more that you can see. This whole project was so much fun. Like I said, I think we have a couple more kits at the store, and I'll ask Lori if we could do even more than what we have, because we did have some extra of the fabric. It wouldn't be this, it would be the jewel tone. So you would just be getting the jewel tone. Thank you for joining me. I'm on my way to the store. Have a great day. Get this done. Don't let it be a UFO. It is just like some of the most spectacular fabric you'll ever find. It was Robin Givens Super Bloom, and the pattern is Janine Babbage, Spring is in the Air. And hope you guys had fun, and I will see you later. Bye, guys.